Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Camille, and this is Alice, Anne-Sophie, and Anna. And we are from the GenAI Design initiative at Criteo. So predictive AI is not new at Criteo. It's part of our core business at its core. Because basically, we are connecting people that are willing to publish ads with people that are willing to sell ad spaces. And however, designing generative AI in a complex multi-product companies, when everyone is asked to accelerate delivery, was a new challenge for everyone. For a bit of context, we are part of the design strategy teams, and so we are working with all the client-facing platforms and the shared services that are working with those platforms. And inside the design strategy team, there is the GenAI Design initiative. In 2025, GenAI features were expected to be delivered by the end of Q4, no less than 4. So that's what meant that 4 different product teams were about to design, code, and ship at the same time. And that the biggest risk possible was misalignment. And so instead of work in isolation, we took a step back and work 1 quarter ahead to create a set of intentional and coherent AI design artifacts to accelerate the shipping of those GenAI features. And this is what it became.
Hello, I'm Anne-Sophie. I'm a principal user researcher at Criteo. And I will now talk about understanding the user needs and how we apply that in this project. So our vision is how do we decide what should be powered by AI or agents, and how can we ensure that what we build remains useful, coherent, and consistent across all platforms. In this part of the presentation, I'll focus on the what and on the usefulness aspect, because the coherence and consistency will be treated by my colleagues. So agentic AI means automation. So we need to explore what should be automated in our platforms. But how do we research that? Because it's not yet there in our platforms. And humans are really bad at predicting future needs, future behavior, and what they will need. So there is example of the flying cars, but also election polls. So we decided to focus on what they are already doing now. So we listed the main tasks that are done by our users in our platforms, and then we asked the users to share how repetitive those tasks are, how painful are they, how frequently are they doing those tasks, what value does those tasks contribute to their goals, what risk is there if an error appears in this task. Are they comfortable to automate? And at the opposite, what human control guardrails they want to keep for each task. With all the data that we collected, we were able to recommend a level of automation and what guardrail of control which should remain for each task. And this is backed with the discovery research, but also with the other learnings that we already have from previous researches, such as the CX score, the support tickets, but also the behavioral data that we have in our analytics tools. And it leads to identify the level of automation from level 0, no automation at all, to level 4, fully automated without human validation. In parallel of this discovery, we also had features that were already in the pipe, such as the audience agent and the insight agent. Just a little zoom out. What is this audience and insight agent? So first, the audience agent is an agent where you can generate audiences, and the audiences are the people who will see the ads. So this artifact is then reused when you create a campaign. And the insight agent on the other side is an agent to search through insights from the campaign's data. We cannot test AI the same way as we were testing the features that we have in our platform before, because we need something that is live, where we can test the language, the output, the conversations, and the system behavior. So we partner with the dev team to have a technical prototype to be able to test all of that. And we also partner with the UX designers to test the UX prototype, where we can test the components, the understanding of the interactions. So before launching a feature, research, discovery, and test is great, but then measurement is key when the feature is live. But here again, we created a measuring framework to adapt how we measure the efficiency of the AI agent. And this framework is based on 4 pillars: satisfaction, adoption, guidance, and empowerment. So from the research perspective, all of that gave all the keys to be able to research, test, and measure what we do to back our work with the user data.
Hi, I'm Alice, a product designer. I will tell you how we implement and scale AI design at Criteo. Last year, some teams started to build new AI agent. Same company, same time frame, completely incompatible. We knew that wasn't a question of a talent. When AI starts to scale across an organization, having talented people is not enough. You need structure. You need clarity. You need intentional scaffolding. So here we introduce these key ingredients: governance, alignment on what matters, champion, and processes and tools. Having just a core AI team doesn't prevent the chaos. Governance does. Without clear governance, decisions still happen, just inconsistently. So we define clear roles, decision-making rules, and processes and rituals to shape how AI evolves. So here is the thing. We don't scale through use case and patterns. We scale through people. At Criteo, we set up a core AI team and champions embedded in product team to scale fast while keeping decision consistent across the organization. What is a champion at Criteo? It's a designer, again, who sits in a product team, not in a core AI team, who actively represent AI initiative, apply it in their work, and contribute back to it. How we find them? We met with PMs from different products to find teams with near-term AI priorities. Then we partnered with their designers as champions, bringing real cases and problems. Now you might be thinking, okay, we have champions. How do they help us? They are our signal network. We at Criteo, we prioritize on 2 levels: what components and patterns to scale across teams, and which high-impact bets to take. I will focus on bets, and Camille will walk you through how we prioritize patterns across the Criteo. So how we pick the bets? We pull them from 4 different places: business priorities, active product roadmap, UX research, and champions feedback. Having signals from spreadsheet is not the same as having signals from someone sitting in a product team watching things happen in a real time. That's what champions give us. They actually tell us what actually happened on the roadmap, see main pain points, and flag them before it's become a problem. So how we prioritize then the use cases? We filter them. We filter them through 3 criteria. We filter this potential business impact, reusability across teams, and urgency. If something doesn't pass all the 3 criteria, we ignore it deliberately. That's how we landed on these 2 projects, Audience Builder and Insight Agent. They were on our active roadmap, committed time frame, and same problematics across the teams. Then what helped us scale? We put in place these rituals and tools at Criteo, such a design office hour. It's become our lowest friction entry point in a core design initiative. We designed a trust-building ritual which prevents us spot the misuse before it becomes a technical debt. Then Slack channels. It makes AI initiative visible to everybody. It normalize asking questions in public and prevent those one-on-one shadow decisions that create inconsistency. And then workshop and onboarding. They were our alignment accelerators, and they help us to create a shared language and resolve the ambiguity. And so what changed when we introduced these roles, processes, tools, rituals? First wasn't the speed. It was better decision made early with less friction. We stop asking team to comply. Instead, we'll help them understand and stop building in silence. 6 months ago, when team wanted to build an AI feature, designer prototyping in Figma, validated it with PM, and then the team ship it. Today, same designer participate in office hour, ask question in a Slack channel, get the feedback from the core AI team, from other designer, and then they ship something that works across the organization. And that's the shift.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm the content and conversation designer on the core AI team. I am here to talk to you about vision. How exactly did we establish a unified AI vision at Criteo? By creating a shared direction and actionable framework for AI design. When we in the core AI team began building agentic production, we were sure of only one thing. We needed a shared direction. The design principles that we create at Criteo became exactly that. They bring clarity and consistency to AI design decisions across products, teams, and platforms so that all decisions remain trustworthy, human-centered, and scalable. What we knew we didn't want was trend chasing or developing features in a vacuum. Of course, the beautiful principles that you see right here can only work if we can put them into action. So we didn't stop there. Through a series of workshops and core AI rituals, we translated each guideline you see here into concrete guidelines and heuristics to guide day-to-day design decisions on the ground in practice. So the clearest example of this is performance as impact. At every step of the process, we asked ourselves, does this actually help users achieve their goals? If yes, that is performance. It forced us to define concrete deliverables and clarify success before we shipped. Another critical aspect of our principles is that they aren't abstract. They're grounded in UX research, extensive benchmarking, and consolidation of best practices across UX disciplines. This ensures they address real user concerns like trust, agency, and clarity. It also gave teams confidence. When direction changes or trade-offs come up in agentic projects, as we all know here, as they're wont to do, we could make decisions based on evidence. Another thing we realized really early on is that principles only work if users can experience them without ever realizing that they're there. Good UX is invisible, after all. So this is where content and conversation design comes in. So one of our first moves was to create the AI design lexicon to ensure consistent language across AI experiences. Then at the same time, I documented and codified content and conversation design guidelines on clear AI capability disclosure, voice and tone, and system prompt conversation architectures. I then structured this into the 3 pillars of content and conversation design at Criteo. Content about AI, which is guidelines and best practices. Content surrounding AI, which is the UI copy that frames the AI experience. And then content within AI, which is conversation design and system prompt architecture. This framework was key in clarifying how different types of AI content shape the user experience. We then evangelized this to designers and PMs to ensure consistency across Criteo AI features. Before my time's up, I want to shine a light on one thing that seems really obvious, but definitely isn't. Shared language. So for example, what do we mean by interactional agentic experience? Not so straightforward, is it? Is it the content about AI, within AI, surrounding AI? Is it system prompt architecture? Is it AI ethics? As a team, we defined it clearly. It's the interaction between a human and an agent. And this, because at Criteo, we have to agree on all of these definitions and many, many more. We have 4 different client-facing platforms driven by designers and PMs who have different seniority levels. Without a shared vocabulary, we just couldn't build AI experiences together. It was absolutely critical. And this is how design principles went from theory to practice. We had product design and R&D aligned on scopes and features to align them all around one coherent AI vision. look at this. It's the dream. Design principles allowed us to prioritize the scope, orient everyone around one direction, and reduce ambiguity, and allow us to move faster together. Thank you.
All right, so you saw the vision, the user research, the collaboration, and the conversational design. Great so far. You were thinking we were done, right? No, we are still missing the juice, what really helped the designers and the PMs and the dev to actually design those GenAI experiences. And that was my job, to build the AI design playbook to gather all those different deliverables. And so you all know that there is 3 main user flows available right now in terms of GenAI features. You have the conversation, the assistant, and the co-creation. And so instead of building from scratch for the UX designers that was about to build those experiences, I templatized those 3 main user flows into reusable flows with key states already mapped out, ready to be built upon. And in addition to that, with Anna, we documented 26 patterns across 5 different categories, and each one was documented with Anne-Sophie's user research as guardrails, but also from product needs by Alice champions, and everything we talked before, so the lexicon, the research, and the backlog for content components we would like to test, but have not the right product prioritization at the moment. One thing I learned quickly is that the same knowledge needs to find the right audience and the right place to be. And so, since our designers are currently working in Figma, of course, the AI design playbooks must live there. But since we wanted to align everyone and upscale everyone at the same time, I made the strategic decision to also have on Confluence, this is where our dev and PMs gather their knowledge, to have the same information. But it was different entry points, but the knowledge and the content was the same. And so, yeah, basically, the AI design playbook sits at the intersection between the product and the design when it comes from prioritization in terms of patterns and different experiences that we needed to work on first and document first. We were between the design and the dev when we need to prioritize which component we need to develop first, but also if it was possible in terms of dev capability and capacity in terms of timeline. And also Anna's content conversational guidelines was on every AI output we tested. And so, yeah. And yeah, basically, we were in every room where it happens, either ourselves or by the champions by proxy. And so that was a way for us to always be aligned and informed about what was happening. And there was a lot happening at the same time. And so basically, the projects feed us as much as we fed the project. And basically, that it's meant to be an infrastructure and just not a support. Yeah, so in 6 months, we successfully shipped those 4 GenAI features I mentioned at the beginning. And 100% of them were AI using the AI playbook and were compliant. That helped us save, on average, 67% of time on QAs. And also, we have a 45% repeat rate since September on the audience agent. Not bad. And what that meant is that we succeed to create a consistent experiences across platform and create no design depth. And also, we can say that we have now a proven methodology that can be replicated at scale from the whole design system at Criteo. If you have to only remember 4 things for this presentation, that would be 1, AI for real user tasks and needs, 2, scaling needs in operating system, 3, principle before patterns, and 4, build system, not features, that outlast any single project. And my last question for you is, with our design playbook, what will you build with it? Thank you very much.